Good afternoon, Villa fans, and welcome to a match preview for the FA Cup quarter-final. On Sunday, 1:30 kickoff, Preston North End stand in the way of Aston Villa reaching Wembley for the semi-finals. We've never had a better chance to get to a semi-final, and then who knows what can happen from there. Is this going to be Villa's year? The stars are aligning. It seems to be happening. We can't underestimate Preston, but we have now got the squad depth to handle this. Looking back to sort of this time last year, we were pretty much dead on our feet against the likes of Olympiacos, and going into those last few games of the season where we just didn't have the squad depth, couldn't see sort of games out and over the line. But this time round, we've got really good squad depth across especially in the attacking third of the pitch, but also defensively as well. So we go into this game against Preston. I would say, even though we're away, we are favourites to sort of progress, but we can't underestimate what Preston are about. They beat Burnley in the last round, an informed Burnley side who don't concede very many, managed to put 3 past them to earn their spot in the quarterfinal. But Villa, it's all in our hands now. We've got to make sure that we get the right team out. We've also got Paris Saint-Germain coming up, so I'm sure there will be, team lineup in Unai's thoughts will be about that game as well. But looking at this, we need to make sure that we go to Deepdale and win the game, and I'm confident that we will. I think we will. I think if we take a look at Preston, just quickly, sitting sort of 14th in the Championship, so similar kind of team to like Cardiff, who we played in the previous round, mid-table Championship team, don't really sort of get close to sort of the playoffs, don't really sort of flirt around too much with relegation. They are your, what's the word? Just your mid-table Championship side. That's what they have. That's what they've been for a number of years, consolidating. I did work with a Preston fan, and then even said to me once, like, he's happy to be in the Championship rather than sort of looking at going up to the Premier League, because he just felt like he likes the unpredictability of the Championship, and you win some, you lose some. Preston probably not ready for the sort of step up to sort of Premier League level, and let's hope that kind of shows. But this is obviously going to be a big game for them. They're at home. They've got the backing of their crowd. It's a tight pitch as far as I know. So 14th position, 38 games into the Championship season, 10 wins, 17 draws, and 11 defeats. So a lot of draws in that 38. -5 goal difference at the moment, and sitting on 47 points, which is 10 points off 6th position in the playoffs, and also 9 points off being in the bottom 3. So they are really in that middle kind of ground in the Championship. They're the joint 5th lowest goal scorers in the Championship as well. So don't score very many. And that's alongside the likes of like Oxford and Hull. So just to give you the sort of caliber of team that they're kind of, scoring like the same amount of, I think it was like 39 goals they've scored. And so have Oxford and Hull. So that's the sort of goals that they're getting. But the form guide for Preston, last 5, we'll see a 2-1 win against Portsmouth, where Porteous, centre-back, scored for them. I think he's a Scottish defender, and an Icelandic midfield player called Pordarsson. Might have butchered that name. They always play with a 5-3-2 formation as well. So get the wing-backs sort of progressing up the pitch, but they have a solid sort of structure to their team. 3 big, bruising centre-backs. Midfield players are quite big as well and physical. So Portsmouth 2-1 win in the last game. Before that, a 1-1 draw with Sunderland. And then before that, a 1-0 defeat to Sheffield United. Before that one, a 0-0 draw with Swansea. And then before that was 3-0 win against Burnley, as I mentioned, in the FA Cup, where Robbie Brady scored a banger of a free kick, sort of winding back the years there, definitely. And they managed to get 3 against Burnley, who don't concede very many at all. In fact, they've only conceded 11 in the entire Championship league season. So to score 3 against them in one game is a good feat. So there you go. They've got danger players. striker in particular, who a little bit controversial. I thought he might be serving a ban actually, but he seems to have escaped any sort of further punishment. He was accused of sort of is it racist language towards Hannibal in the Burnley game, and there were talks about him having a lengthy ban, but that hasn't kind of come through. His name is Osmanjic. He's a Serbian striker. No, in fact, he's Montenegrin. Sorry, he's Montenegrin. He's 25 years old. He's going to be their main danger player. They got him for $2.5 million from the Spanish second division, Cadiz. It's a talent pool that we've dipped into recently with Andres Garcia. So they got him from Cadiz. He's 6 foot tall, 13 goals in 32 appearances this season, which isn't bad going for a side like Preston. If he continues on that form, I'm sure he'll be picked up by either a higher ranking championship side or maybe someone looking at him from abroad. He's got a good pedigree. He knows where the back of the net is. He is going to be their main danger as a striker. Robbie Brady, as I touched upon, is going to be a danger player. He's, still got a wand of a left foot, and he can be dangerous from set pieces, corners, deliveries, free kicks, especially around the box. He's got good technique of getting it up and down. So we don't want to be giving away too many free kicks and opportunities for him to get balls into the box. And then they've got a striker called Risa, not John Arne Risa, but Emil Risa, I think is how you say it. He did score in the 1-1 draw against Sunderland. He's got 10 goals in 41 appearances. He's 6'2", and they do like to play a front two up front. And again, Osmanjic, who's 6 foot tall, and Reese are probably going to be that two that play up front. They're both physical, both 6 foot and above, and they know where the back of the net is. So if they're given a chance, they will put it away, and that home crowd cheering them on is only going to benefit them. They've got Preston seem to pick up quite a few players from the Danish league. They seem to have a connection with the Danish league there, similar to maybe like Brentford. Brentford have quite a lot of Danish players, and these guys have 3 Danish players in their lineup as well. So they tend to sort of dip into that market quite a bit. So it'd be interesting to see how they get on as well. There are players who have played for both teams, 9 players in total that have played for Preston and Aston Villa. I won't ask you to name them, but some of them are going back sort of years and years ago. But if we look at the most sort of recent players, obviously we've got Kane Kessler-Hayden, who's going to be, eligible for this game, obviously playing against his parent team. So he won't be playing, even though he's made 43 appearances for them over sort of 2 loan periods and registered sort of 3 assists as well. So he's doing well. He's playing on that right wing back form position. He sometimes played a right centre back as well. But yeah, done really well for them. And he can't play in this game, but he looks like a good prospect. I'm not sure what Villa are going to do with him end of the season, because it looks like we've got Matty Cash and now Andres Garcia. We've still got Kostan Nedeljkovic on the books as well at right back. So whether Kessler-Hayden gets moved on and this move to Preston becomes permanent, does look likely. He's been there a couple of times now, and we've got a good relationship with Preston. And then before that, we've had Cameron Archer at Preston. He played 20 games and scored 7 goals for them, so he was quite prolific in his spell there. I remember him being a real fan's favourite at Preston during his loan spell. Going back further, Josh Onoma made sort of 13 appearances and 1 assist for Preston in his time. And then Scott Sinclair, who was a real fan's favourite actually, 85 appearances and 14 goals. So he managed to play a fair few games for them. I think he sort of played more as a striker for them as well. Callum Robinson, who we came up against, in the Cardiff game, he also played at Preston for a number of years, 159 appearances, 41 goals. So again, he's someone that the Preston fans did like. Andre Green, 6 appearances on loan at Preston, 1 goal. So there's someone there for you as well. Graham Burke, before that, a long time ago now, sort of 15 appearances for Preston, 2 goals. Sam Johnson, who obviously played for Villa in the Championship as a goalkeeper. Now he's at he's Wolverhampton Wanderers now. He was at Palace, wasn't he? He made 26 appearances for Preston and obviously played in our Championship days. And then way back when, Richie Delat had a season on loan where he only made 5 appearances for Preston, but obviously played a couple of seasons at Villa, I remember. Daniel Johnson is another one who played for both teams, but he didn't sort of make a first-team appearance for Villa, as far as I know. but he was a real fan's favourite for Preston and played there for a number of years again. So yeah, and then if you look back at the last 3 games against Preston, the last 3 meetings have all been draws. So we've had like I think it's a 1-1, we've had a 2-2 and a 3-all draw against them in the last 3 appearances. So just yeah, I think it was this the game where Glenn Whelan missed a penalty and Bruce got the cabbage thrown at him. It might have been that game. It might have been that one against Preston. But yeah, so Preston are going to be a danger, especially from set pieces. Robbie Brady putting in corners and free kicks. And as I said, they play with 3 really physical big centre-backs. The midfield 3 are all quite big as well. So they're quite a physical team. So anyone that is giving away set pieces and free kicks can't really be doing that against this team. You can't invite that sort of pressure on that sort of tight pitch at Deepdale. So it will be, I'm not going to say a tough game, but it will be a challenging game for us, and we need to pick the team right for this. And so team lineup wise, for me, I think we should go with Emi Martinez in goal for sure. I think we have to. Right back, I would have said Disasi, but he's obviously cup tied, because I think he would have given us a bit of a physical presence as well, and from the defending point of view, and helped out sort of on that side. But he can't play, so it's going to have to be either Matty Cash or Andres Garcia. And I've got a feeling that Matty Cash will probably get the nod for this one. So Cash going in at right back, centre back, Ezri Konsa. He's probably cemented his place in the England kind of squad now going forward. Real good performance in the Albania and Latvia games. He just looks amazing. He's underrated, I think, at Aston Villa. He's so important to the way that we play. A few years ago when Mings was the main man, he was like the Batman, and Konsa was like the Robin. Those roles have reversed now. Konsa has put on the Batman mask, and Mings is now the Robin, basically. So I think Konsa at right centre back, left centre back. He could play Pau Torres. He got a good game in the spring break game against Allian, but I think Mings will probably come in for this as well, for his height and physicality. So I think Konsa and Mings will resume centre back duties, and then left back for me. Ian Martins is just coming off scoring off a debut goal for Holland, and a really, really good goal as well. We saw him in the last game against Bruges playing on the left-hand side, but playing more as an inverted left back, which seems to be something that Unai has kind of tweaked slightly in the system. So I see Ian Martins starting this game for us as that sort of inverted left back over Luca Digne. I think Luca Digne might be, I wouldn't say rested, but I think he might be given a bit more time for the Paris Saint-Germain game, where we probably will need more defensive qualities, let's say. So I think Ian Martin will start at left back. CDM wise, I think we're going to go with the all-action John McGinn as captain at CDM, and I think Yuri Tielemans will play alongside him as well. I think Boubacar Kamara again will probably have one eye on the Paris game, so he might come off from the bench perhaps, but I think Kamara from the bench will be the best thing to do. And then further forward from that is obviously where it is, I wouldn't say a tricky question, but there's lots of options. You've got Ramsey and Rashford on the left. I think for this one, it wouldn't surprise me if Ramsey got the nod for this one. He's obviously been in the training camp with Unai and in Dubai. And Rashford's obviously played for England and done well. But maybe we can use Rashford sort of later on in the game and keep him sort of fresh for Paris as well. So I think Ramsey from the left will probably start. I think Morgan Rogers, again, played well for England. I think that he will be giving us the spot in the 10. I think Asensio will come from the bench if needed, and again, will be rested for Paris a little bit. So I see Ramsey, Rogers, and then on the right-hand side, I see Leon Bailey playing in this game for us to see what he can do up against the Preston kind of fullback and give us that whip. If it's not working, then obviously what we've seen in recent games is Rashford playing on the left and offering the width, and then Rogers playing from the right, sort of tucked in with Asensio in the 10. So we might finish like that, but I think to begin with, it will be Bailey on the right-hand side with Rogers in behind and Ramsey from the left. And then up front, Ollie Watkins hasn't been part of that Dubai trip. Obviously hasn't been with England. He's been recovering from a knock that he sustained. Is he going to have that sharpness? Malen has been training, obviously, with the Dutch team. Got very little minutes, I think, in the games that he did play. But I think this could be a chance for Daniel Malen to, stake a claim. And he obviously can't play against Paris either as well. So I think Daniel Malen up front probably might be the right sort of thing to do here, and have Ollie Watkins from the bench. And again, sort of use him maybe after sort of 70 minutes or something. But, Marlon can't play. Obviously, Garcia can't play either in the Champions League, but I still would play Cash at right back for this one because he's got that relationship with Bailey. You don't want to change too much. So that would be my kind of predicted lineup, really, going into this game. I'll be interested to know what you think and how you would like to change that. Obviously, we'd love to see Rashford and Asensio, starting the game, but I think we need to box a little bit clever here. We've got 8 games coming up in April. They're all quite close together again. It's going to be intense. So we need to manage the minutes of the players well. And I think this one, I'm not taking Preston lightly, but Preston, and then you've got Paris Saint-Germain. You don't want to be playing Rashford or Asensio here and picking up knocks when, you've got players who can step up. Ramsey's a very good, adequate replacement for Rashford. Bailey can do a job on the wing for us, and Morgan Rogers, in the 10 where he's probably at his best, that's where we're going to see the best of him. And Daniel Malen, for me, just to give Watkins, the last 20 minutes of this game would be fine, and then bring him in for the Paris game. But again, just let him nurse that sort of injury back to full health, rather than sort of risking him a little bit from the start here. And, if he breaks down, then we are, we're struggling for Paris, aren't we? It would have to be Rashford playing up front, which is not where he really wants to play. So, yeah, that would be my lineup and my thinking kind of behind it. Would love to hear sort of your thoughts going into this game, and, what your sort of score predictions are. If you ask me for a score prediction, I'm going to go Villa, obviously, to win, and I'm going Villa to win a comfortable 2-0 against Preston. I don't see them scoring against us in open play, perhaps from set pieces. But, as long as we can nullify that, I think we get an early goal in the game as well, calm everyone down, then that would be good. And then hopefully we can see the likes of, Andres Garcia coming on, perhaps. We can see Asensio coming on for a little bit towards the end. But, yeah, I really want to get the win in the bag as soon as possible, early on, and then maybe start kind of resting players and thinking ahead of the Paris game as well. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on the game. Let me know yours. Do subscribe to the channel as well. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. Want to get there as quick as possible. So if you like the video, a lot of my viewers that are coming in are not subscribed. So like 90% of you guys that are watching are not subscribing. So please just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really will help the channel grow. I'll be back at you, obviously, with an instant match reaction to this game on sort of Sunday afternoon. Hopefully, we're celebrating going to semi-finals and going to Wembley, which would be absolutely amazing. Would definitely look to book my ticket to get to Wembley to watch a game. I haven't seen Villa in a semi-final for so long. It'll be so good to see us get far in this competition. We've also got Paris Saint-Germain coming up as well, which is going to be a heck of a game. And, I really want to see us, going strong, staying in the tie, bringing it back to Villa Park with purpose, and just sort of seeing how we get on there. But guys, do smash a like, smash a comment as well. Let me know your score predictions, your team lineups, what you would go with, what you want to see. And until the next video, enjoy the rest of your working week. Take care, guys.